For now, I just wanted to give you a flavour of some of the events that have already taken place that Denise mentioned, so London and DC, obviously. First of all, I just wanted to say this is flipping awesome, and I'm extremely excited by this. To think that we randomly came up with the idea as a throwaway thought a couple of years ago, and then the guys in DC kind of took our idea and ran with it, and then the guys here, everybody seems to be trying to outdo each other, which is kind of great, and the way it should be. The other exciting thing is just to be able to put the idea out there and for people to just run with it, and for us to, like, you didn't have to invite us. It was very nice of you to invite us along, but we don't own this. Like, we all own this, and if you find things that don't work or that can work better, or new ideas you want to bring to this, then that's great. The way that we're trying to put it out there is to say, like, this was the original idea, this is some of the tools we use, but if you want to add to them, then add them to the toolkit. Creative Commons, they all kind of get shared and reciprocally kept centrally so that you can put them out and other people can draw from them as well. So it's kind of exciting from that point of view. We've had conversations now with people from Egypt and a range of other places about running design-athons, which just is amazing anyway, and it's in no small part down to Denise and her passion for setting up Enable by Design in the first place. So I'm proud to have known her for 15 years and see where we're on the other side of the world doing this. Amazing. So just to give you a flavour of the original Design-athon was one that we ran in London a couple of years ago. And we were lucky enough to partner with all those great guys there. And it was really powerful, actually, because what it gave was the opportunity to bring together some of the amazing skills that were often being applied in other industries that, to be honest, I don't really give a toss about, because this stuff matters about 100 times more than any other, than, you know, fancy new trainers or whatever else. And as it turns out, product designers and the like feel the same, otherwise there wouldn't be so many of you in this room. And so it's really exciting to see what you can do when you put those skills together. And often people just want to sit with people who are facing those challenges and understand their need, and to be able to build something that is meaningful, and that's hopefully what we put together. So one example, our muse, it's sad that he's not here with us because he's in America volunteering on something, being a goody two-shoes, but Paul is our muse in both events that we've run so far. The products that have been designed for Paul have won. So, you know, it takes the pressure off you a little bit, and also it'd be really awkward. 100 people flocking to work with Paul for the next 24 hours would be really weird. But Paul doesn't have arms and legs, and he really struggles with a kettle was one of the problems. So watching Paul try and tip a kettle is mildly terrifying. He's clumsy anyway, so that's kind of irrelevant. But so we got a load of people together in a room, very similar to what we're about to do. Interestingly, it seems to be the postmodern apocalyptic kind of look with stripped back walls and things. Seems to be the buildings that we do these things in, which is great. Looks quite like upstairs. And this is what happened by the end of 24 hours. Hacked for Paul. Not really usable, as you might imagine, after 24 hours of playing with plastic moulding. And I wouldn't really recommend he puts his arm there when it's hot. But the point is that we get to something exciting within 24 hours. We get to a vision of the future and something that is personalized rapidly and entirely possible. And what Denise was saying around Kickstarter and other things, there's no reason why these things can't then go forward and be crowdfunded and supported. And to be honest, this sort of line between personal design and universal design is an interesting one as well, because I would buy this kettle. It's kind of cool. My one's really boring, but and we got into a bit of 3D printing, which is what we're gonna be doing again. And talking of Kickstarter-y type things, these guys crowdfunded the development of their products after the original Design-athon as a way of being able to take their products forward. Again, like, just some really sensible stuff. Like, who enjoys the sort of shakiness of putting your cup on a saucer? I never use a cup and a saucer, but in theory, if I were to use a cup and a saucer, it's the wrong way up, which is what they realized just through serious thought and insight, and also people like Denise, to be honest, who can sometimes struggle with knives and forks and holding them. Is there a different way that you can think about knives and forks and enable people to just poke their fingers at things with cactus on the end of their fingers? And then the guys in the US took it on, and we did the same again. And oh my God, Paul was all over it again. This time, Paul as the muse was a guy who couldn't cut an apple very easily. So lo and behold, we came up with, again, Denise, remind me the name of what this was again. Pardon? Springboard. Essentially like a stapler for your knife, so that you could stick it in and then bash the top of it to cut stuff. Kind of genius. So they won that one, and there was a lot of excitement. A 3D printed cup, as we have again this year, which is really exciting. But the key takeaway for me is just that the next 24 hours is an opportunity for those of you who may not necessarily design for people with disabilities or get to do this really interesting and important stuff every day in your work, and instead you get the chance to spend 24 hours immersing yourself and thinking about what is it like to be in that situation, how can I support them through a really elegantly designed product or service. And that's the challenge, to spend particularly, I would say, at least half of today, if not every minute of your day for the rest of your life, obviously, ideally, immersing yourself in empathy and actually seeing it from a different perspective, and being creative, bringing your creative skills and your challenge to what is possible as well. So that's it for me. I'm going to explain the rest of the day in a bit, but I'll hand it over to speakers. So.